what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. So y'all know that I was making Native American war clubs. Oh, I finished them. I'm super really excited about these. They came out great. So I started by using some oak. I took a oak plank. I drew out 2 designs on the plank. I cut them out rough, then I cut them out a little better, and then I wanted to hand do these. So rather than finishing them with saws and whatnot, I went straight to a grinder. I went to a stone grinder and a belt grinder and began going crazy. Finished up these blades 5-inch Ulu style, and the reason I went with Ulu style is because I did a video talking about blades that I would never make or design for use, and one of them was the Ulu because I'm not a fan. I really had no use for an Ulu blade. And then it came to me, what if I took an Ulu and put it in a Native American war club? Now, normally Native American war clubs have like a skinny blade or a rounded leaf-shaped blade, or like a spear point, that comes out, and a lot of times they were made of either bone or stone and then eventually steel, but there was either one blade, or sometimes you'll see like a double or even a triple long skinny blade sticking out, and that didn't make them always strong. Some were tied on and this and that, and I wanted to make them really good. And you can even see, possibly, I even used a decorative pin. This one I didn't finish as well as this one because I was thinking of selling this one, and I'm thinking this is my El Barto design, and as you can see, I did like a snakeskin leather with a bone sticking out. I almost cut myself, and I gave it some scarring, and basically this is the punishing side and this is the take it outside. But I don't know, so this one, I didn't care too much about like doing wood filler and any of the gapping or anything like that. And what I did is this one, that's the El Barto, and this one is the skull taker. And so I put a couple skulls on there. I added just some yellow and black line for color. I wrapped the bottom of the Ulu in leather. And this thing would be really killer against a dome. So I wanted one that I could have for like a kind of like a home protection, but also something cool looking piece to have. So that's why I did this one the way I did it, because this is the one I thought I would just keep for me. That little notch is just my little shoulder holder. But this one I went more with the traditional gun stock style, and I wanted to make it more like something that you would see pulled out from Last of the Mohicans and just destroying people with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test one, and I'm not going to test this one, I'm going to test that one. This one is made a little better, a little stronger, just a little. I mean, there's really just comes down to finishing touches. But I want to just test this thing. I want to hit bop the one side, and I want to cut bop with the other side, and see what kind of job I did here. So now I really don't have like a watermelon or anything that I thought about that. I should have got some kind of melon. I did have a boogie board hanging, but the wood blew it down, and I do have a branch down. So there are some things I could still hit. So we're gonna do that. Let me set something up. I don't think this boogie board is gonna last very long. What I'm gonna do first is I want to take a strike before it falls apart with the blunt side. And I knew that wasn't gonna last very long. Let's see. I've got some piece right here. It's really nice and thick. So I mean, you can see. I mean, if I was doing this to a dome just at this speed, it's gonna break. So you can see, like, it's putting dents and cuts into it. And I mean, it's thick styrofoam, so to break it open, you gotta give it a good shot. And I'm trying not to hit my hand, but nothing's going anywhere. I mean, that is as solid as can be. I mean, it's just straight up oak. let's come over here and make sure the dogs didn't drop anything. So you can see that's like a hammer, and that's hitting a tree. Look at that. That's small hits. If that's a person, I mean, you're talking completely different, right? And that blade is just gonna stick. If you hear rattling, it's not the blade, it's just the skulls. The blade is really firmly in there. It's actually done pretty well. So let's see here. Wow. So now I'm thinking that the leather wrap might be a bad idea for that kind of thing. Against like people, it might not be bad, but chopping, I just got the blade all the way through, and what I noticed was it catches the leather at the end. So that's why this one is going to be for me, unless I take off the leather and want to redo it. But you can see that's just straight up chopping right there. That is really, really nice. I mean, look at this. It's pretty sharp. It's pretty sharp. This thing is going to be devastating. I mean, if it was ever needed, like this is the kind of thing you can keep by your door instead of a baseball bat. I would much rather get hit with a bat than this. Let's see. Look at that. Can I cook or can't I? So right here, I mean, just I can use the blade as a blade, but what it really is this. It's a freaking hitting blade. This thing is getting a little wobbly in the hand. I'm holding these little thin pieces, but you can see, I mean, there's no wobbling, no loosening. I'm surprised I didn't knock the leather off because it's glued really, but it's like a rubber cemented. These things are terrors. So I'm thinking about selling the other one. And if I don't sell it, I might use it in a trade, and I have an idea going on with that. But holy crap, they're 100% handmade. This is straight up dbad ingenuity. It's even got my name on it. I don't know, there's not really much to do as far as testing unless I had more stuff to hit, which I don't. And I might have to do a second video of just like, or maybe some shorts like smashing melons and things like that. But we're gonna come over here and just go crazy on a few things. We'll just go crazy on a few things. Golly. All right, so this thing is fun, and you can see that blade's going nowhere, man. That thing is killer. I've got tree parts inside the leather, and I'm surprised how well that leather is staying on there. I'm really surprised because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. But look at that, man. Look at that. That's just like small little hits. This thing is killer. This thing is killer. Now, if I wanted, I can use it as an axe. Right? Look at this. That is crazy. So instead of just a weapon against the enemy, I could use this if I was in the field as a straight up axe. I have this area that I can hit with and absolutely damage something. And this end, which is killer. But I mean, really, if I needed to take down some kind of small trees or something, I'll go to one that's already cut. Let's see. So here we go. I can use my Native American War Club to cut down a tree. Now, after it's all said and done, Native Americans are going to see this and think, why the hell didn't we think of that? So I just made basically like an Indian axe. They use stones for axes. Look at this. That thing is awesome. So that's what it is, man. My war hammers, these things are just awesome. Just awesome, man. And I know without any leather on this one, I cut deeper. I took this one out and did a short once and just went through that tree, that little tree that we hit, that little branch, and it cut through the branch and then stuck into the log and had no hang-ups. So the El Barto, very cool. You'll notice that it is two-tone. Well, I hope you'll notice it's kind of hard for me to see in this light, but I did a dark stain that transfers into a light stain. Did it on both, so you can see it goes from dark to light. Just really cool, man. I freaking love it. I'll hold the skulls so you can see that there's no wobble in there. These are these are awesome, man. I mean, made to be able to use either way. This one with that sweet bend, man, all that power would carry right to the end of that. You turn it around, whoa, deadly as a dagger. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm thinking about making more. If people were really interested, I'm thinking about making more for sales. I think these are just really cool. I might even do some different blade styles. I'm not sure yet. Literally is the first time I've taken it out, so I really have to think about that, like what I want to do with it. But all I know is these things came out super awesome. Took me a little while because everything was done by hand, but golly, these are cool, man. These are so cool. This is just awesome. I love the little bone. I took that off of another knife that I had. I think it was, I don't know if it was on the end of like one of my Crocodile Dundee style knives or what, but it was just a little extra one I had, and I glued it on there, man. And I'll tell you, fit and finish wise, they're not like made to be perfect. They look like they were made by hand, and that's exactly, I love my knives that way. I love my tools that way. I like things that are rugged because it reminds me more of me, you know. And I can appreciate that. I can absolutely appreciate that. But whew, these are cool. All right, so that's it. That's it, man. The El Barto and the Skull Taker. My first attempts at Native American war clubs. I have to say, honestly, and 100%, this was a success, man. These came out really cool. And I can tell you one thing, I would not want to be hit with these. No way, no how. They are just nasty. All right, so that's it for this one. I am Donnie B all day. Until next video.